I'm still uncomfortable hearing that. Do you want to start talking about it? Do you want me to start?
No, it was. I mean, if someone's put AJ was robbed, I mean, that ninth round, I can't lie. I thought, oh my goodness, Usyk's in trouble. AJ's going to do it.
Yeah, 1 round out of 12.
Yeah, but when he came out in the 10th, Usyk, and the box the way he did from 10, 11, and 12, that's why he's one of the best on the planet, if not the best on the planet.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. The way he was slipping punches was just a joy.
It made
to
me
watch.
dizzy. Just watching him made me dizzy.
Yeah, he'd throw a punch and then Joshua would try and hit him back, and all of a sudden
It's
he
behind him.
was on his right. Yeah, I want to talk about Joshua. I want to talk about Joshua during the fight and after the fight. I've never been saying not a fan of Joshua is not necessarily fair. I've never been caught up in the hype in Anthony Joshua. I've never ever thought he was better than he thinks he is. Right? And I get it. Listen, if you become, heavyweight champion,
Belly will be phoning up soon.
He can phone up. If you're caught up in that and you've got people around you telling you how great you are and you're earning millions upon millions of pounds and you're heavyweight champion, I get it. I get why you get caught now. Maybe you think you're better than you are, but I've never been impressed with his style. I've never been impressed with any win that he's had. When he beat Klitschko as a 40-year-old Klitschko, when he won the title,
Charles Martin.
Charles Martin won it because someone else had given it up. When he beat Joseph Parker, that was on point.
Boring fight that was.
Boring fight. When he retained his belt back from Andy Ruiz Jr., who, I mean, should never have even been in the ring in the first place, let alone beat him in the first fight. He took him to points. I've never been impressed, right? I've never been impressed with it. And then afterwards he has that outburst. I thought it was a little bit naughty that he took the moment away
from Usyk.
Right? I thought that was a bit unfair. Then I got uncomfortable with Joshua talking about the fact that there's a war going on in Ukraine. I thought, okay, I don't think you really know what you're trying to say here, right? Which I get because you're caught up in the emotion, right? There's all that adrenaline pumping through your body. You're maybe a little bit concussed, maybe you're having a little bit of a breakdown. I totally understand that, right? The frustration was coming out as well. He's had years and years of media training. That all went out the window. But, I just don't know what's next for him. I find it very difficult to feel. So I get how emotional it was for him, and I get the mental side of sport. I totally understand that, so I can't be too harsh, right? And I saw him, break down and cry in the press conference, and that was nice to see because he's a real human being. I totally understand that. I find it very difficult to feel sorry for someone that's got £300-400 million in the bank and keeps telling me he's this great, he's the greatest boxer in the world, right? I don't know what's next for him. I think if he has a fight at all against Deontay Wilder, it's too dangerous.
So
He'll get beat.
I think he loses that fight.
He loses that fight. Dillian Whyte is probably about his level, right?
No, I think he's more than that, and I get it. You've never been impressed. There have been times where I've been excited by AJ, looking forward to him fight. I think what he's done for British boxing has been fantastic. Stadium fights packed out,
without a doubt. Heavyweight.
Everyone likes the heavyweight champion of the world, don't they? Which he was at one stage. But I think he just got to a point where you get. There are people that obviously can knock out artists like he is, like Wilder is. But then there are supreme boxers like tacticians like Fury, Usyk. And we saw there, it doesn't matter how big AJ was, bigger he was than Usyk. He could hit harder. He just wasn't as skilled, and he found it really hard to kind of utilise his qualities on Usyk. What happens next? I don't know. Does he need a tune-up fight to kind of regain his confidence before he jumps back into a mega fight? Or does he just stay riding this wave and then go straight into another prize fight? I would like to see him fight Wilder at some stage.
That's too dangerous. He's never ever going to beat Tyson Fury, right?
The only thing, and I've heard quite a few.
Benny, don't go there.
I think Fury will win,
right?
But listening to some of the experts speaking about it and why they're saying maybe Fury would be an easier fight than Usyk was because Fury's massive, so that he's a bigger target. So AJ would be able to hit that, whereas Usyk's a bit smaller. I don't think he'd win. But that's what they say. But the only fight I'd like to see, there are two fights I'd like to see AJ have, would be Wilder, because I think that'd be explosive. That doesn't go 12 rounds. Or Dillian Whyte again. I think Dillian Whyte's a better boxer than he was the first time they fought. Yeah. I think there'll be, obviously, it's a grudge match. I don't really like each other.
When I hear Dillian Whyte against Anthony Joshua, I'm like...
You're still got a big... Yeah, but when
I still watch it, but it's like, I don't really care what the outcome is.
When it was Dillian Whyte versus Fury, I was a little bit like,
Yeah, so was I.
But I think Whyte versus, like, AJ, a bit of a wobble. Dillian Whyte's had success, built himself back up. I know he got beat by Fury, but he still wants that second crack at it. Then you've obviously got the likes of Dubois, there's Parkers, there's loads of people. Do you know what I mean? There's loads. Joe Joyce. But for me, the next one I want to see him have is Wilder. But it is a dangerous fight, but no better way than putting yourself back out there.
What did you make of the disrespect he showed to the belts when he picked the belts up and threw him down? Then went up to him and said, I'm a better fighter than you, I'm stronger than you, how did you win?
Yeah, I didn't like all that. I don't think AJ conducted himself after the fight in any positive light. But a lot of stress. And to be fair, as I said, I felt a bit sorry for it. I know you said you don't, but I did because there was...
No, I didn't say I don't. I find it very difficult to feel sorry for someone. Not with all that money. That sounds a bit heartless, but...
I just didn't know what
it was literally like a spoilt brat, like he's throwing his toys out the pram.
A little bit.
That's how I felt about it.
I didn't quite know what he was trying to do because obviously the cameraman was on AJ and he looked like in the ring he was getting angry with somebody. Then the next thing he got out the ring and he stormed into his changing rooms. Yeah. Then he turns back around and comes back to the ring.
There's no shame in not being good enough.
No, but you've been beaten by... You've not been knocked out by someone... Like the first Ruiz fight, I didn't even watch it because I thought it was a foregone conclusion. I woke up, checked my phone and was like, oh my goodness, he lost.
Yeah.
So a little bit of shame in losing to that one. But the one against Usyk, there's no shame in that. He's a better boxer than you.
Yeah.
Like you were
but the way he treated it was almost like he couldn't understand why he'd lost.
Well, listen, but
the talent we saw from Usyk, AJ's nowhere near that.
I think in that moment there, he's probably worked really hard with his new trainer. I thought he fought so much better in the second fight than he did in the first. He probably put all these things together. He probably felt in the right headspace that he felt like he couldn't lose now, and it didn't work. Round 9, he could have took him out. It didn't happen. Yeah. Maybe it just all comes together at once.
Dion's a Liverpool fan. Hello, Dion. How are you?
How we doing, boys? You all right?
I'm great, thank you. Are you all right? You well?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. All good.
What would you like to say, Dion?
Yeah, I've just been seeing a lot of stories over the past few days that saying Anthony Joshua should retire and all this, and I just think it's utter garbage. I don't think some people realize just how good Alexander Usyk is. Undisputed champion at cruiserweight. He is beating everybody. No other heavyweight on the planet, barring Tyson Fury, will beat Alexander Usyk. Not Wilder, not Joe Joyce, not Joe Parker. None of them will beat Alexander Usyk. The guy's an absolute genius. AJ putting a good performance on, and it wasn't enough. Unfortunately, he's not on Usyk's level. He's not. But to say he should retire is an absolute joke. There's plenty of big fights up there for him still.
Dion, who do you want to see him fight next?
Oh, it's got to be. I agree with you, Darren. It's got to be Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, that's the one.
I agree, but it's too dangerous. And if he loses that, where does he go next?
But it's not in for Wilder as well.
Remember, Wilder's coming off the back of a defeat. I know he's fighting soon. I think who's he fighting? Helenius, is it?
Yeah.
Helenius, and that's the hard fact. Deontay Wilder, no offense to him, he cannot box. He's a garbage boxer. He's got one trick, and what a trick it is. It's a hell of a trick. But he cannot box. He's been outboxed by so many journeymen and so many bums. But he just lands that right hand and he puts up to sleep. If AJ lands on the end of Wilder, he'll go to sleep, and that's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dean, I'm with you. I'd love to see this fight because I don't think it goes 12 rounds.
I feel that's the fight that needs to be made. Maybe not next. Maybe he needs one warm-up fight to get his confidence levels back up.
Whoever lands first. Can AJ get out from a Wilder bang? I don't know. But
that'd be explosive.
But you know what? I do think Deontay Wilder gets a lot of disrespect because, I know he's not the best boxer.
He's got one trick.
Yeah, he's got one trick.
And that is knocking out opponents.
But look at the fights he had with Fury. We regard Fury as the best heavyweight on the planet.
And he nearly done him.
Knocked him down, 3 or 4 times? Maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
He just didn't win the fight. So it's clearly not a bum.